This is a Glassbox Media podcast.
I've officially completed 2 puzzles. That's how my holiday break's going.
But that's
well,
the
not
best.
officially. Like I still have 25 pieces.
It is
downstairs left in my last one.
impossible to complete puzzles when you have cats.
Oh, right.
It's impossible.
Totally.
Like they don't give
no
two
fucks.
fucks
Nope.
about like your puzzle creation.
No.
It's very upsetting.
No, all your pieces are gone.
Mine has been all about binging. I've binged British Bake.
Yep.
Oh,
Same.
yes.
Love that.
Yes.
Love that
The
show.
most soothing show of all time.
Food. I have binge cried. My holiday has just been like
A
intensely.
blast. Sounds like.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
It's been a little bit wild up in the Connor household.
Yeah.
British Bake Off, though.
Oh
I
my
mean,
the most
God,
soothing
it's so
show of all
soothing.
time.
The
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. I was
I
watching.
don't know how I'll sleep again once we run out of shows.
Dude, it's tough. Let me tell you, as
It's
somebody
so
who's
good.
like out of shows, like I the only thing I have left is the master class, and it's not the same. It's just Paul and Mary Berry like
Love
showing
Mary
you how
Berry.
to make things,
I love
which is
Mary
nice.
Berry,
I love
though.
Mary Berry.
I like
but-
Paul Hollywood. I ain't gonna play.
He's fine.
Whoa. Hot take.
He's okay.
Yikes.
Oh
He's
my
got
God.
pretty eyes.
He does. They're sharp.
They are.
They're intense.
They're like hawk's eyes.
You know what I like when they use the word sharp to describe things that are like tangy.
Oh, yeah,
or
they're like,
bitter, and
"Mm."
you're like, I like that because it is. It's like a sharpness, and I anyway.
What else do they say?
They have a lot
Scrummy?
of shit.
Oh,
Scrummy.
she says scrummy. Mary Berry says things are
Yeah.
scrummy, and I'm like, you should be my British grandma.
Yeah.
Like,
I do. I want her to be an
Please.
aunt that is like
Oh.
constantly disappointed in me for some reason.
oh no, but I don't think she's ever really disappointed.
I love the
Like,
host,
you know?
and you know what? You're right, Keegan, because we just watched. We went actually from the very first season that was up to like the newest season. It was weird.
Yeah, because Netflix has them like all
weird.
weird. I'm
They're
like, why
all
wouldn't you put them
mishmash.
in order?
because the American order is like different than the British order.
Well,
I
that's
think,
lame.
and so it's very confusing. Because on the like they have a thing like a separate one in there called the Great British Bake Off: The Beginning.
Oh,
And so it's marketed like it's season 1, but it's
Oh.
not. Like it's season 3.
Oh,
It's very weird.
okay. This is so bizarre. Anyway, so the new host, the guy who looks like
No.
an Elvis impersonator.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna like him. The chops
He's fine.
really had me, and then I was like, okay. By the end of the season, I was like, all right, you're funny.
Again, he's fine. It's
Yeah.
like to me, I'm like,
you though,
but
there
it's
have
not the
been
same.
some hot guy contestants.
Have
on
you
this
guys
show.
gotten to Selassie yet?
no.
Oh. Selassie is like the hottest on
What
that
is
show.
The weirdest name.
I think he's like African, pretty
Oh, okay.
sure, but he is super hot.
Okay.
He rides a motorcycle and in like a business suit because he works in business, but then he also bakes, and he's so calm under pressure while
Yeah.
baking, where I'm
Mhm.
like, I like you a lot.
Yeah.
There's a Matt on the season that I'm watching right now, and I forget if it's 2 or 3, and he's a firefighter.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
I remember him.
He is totally my type because he's giving me that what's his face vibes. The guy from Watchmen, the guy that I'm like in love with, and he was in Downton Abbey.
Matthew
Oh,
Good.
Yes,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
giving me
Good.
total Matthew Good vibes.
Yeah.
Andy could cook. Andy's a firefighter. I'm like,
All right.
this
fine.
is the most ridiculous. And then
Yeah, you can bake. I like
Yeah.
the man. That's what I've
my
learned
God.
watching Great British Bake Off. Like that is something that Paul Hollywood has in his favor. Like I like a man who
He's
can
got those eyes.
bake.
And he can
Yeah.
bake.
Because I'm just like traditionally men are like no women bake, and I'm
somebody-
like I like it that you like to bake.
Somebody told me that Paul Hollywood was what's the Nigella? I think the
Nigella Lawson?
the one who got in trouble for like had like a crazy divorce.
Oh, yeah.
Her
Nigella
husband was
Lawson.
super abusive.
yeah, but
yes.
didn't I
Yeah,
hear
he like
that
choked her out
he-
in public. Her
Yes.
husband.
Yeah.
He, no,
Oh, she
Paul,
had,
Paul
like, a-
Hollywood had an affair with an American like
Oh.
cook, like TV cook.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was like a big
Ooh, I want to
thing.
know all about
Yeah,
it.
I don't know a lot about it. I just know that like, have you guys seen the season with Ruby on it? She's like
Gorgeous.
she's beautiful.
There's 2 with rubies because
Right.
the one I'm watching now is
Wait.
Ruby too. The newest Ruby.
The newest
fucking
Ruby,
gorgeous.
I freaking love her. The one who's Indian.
Oh,
she's
she's
amazing.
amazing.
Are you talking about the young
Young
Ruby,
Ruby.
who was just like, oh, I can't do anything.
Oh,
I
she
suck
annoyed
at
the
everything."
shit out of me.
I hated her because I was just
Her
like,
attitude-
you're
we're on
so
right now.
fake.
Yeah,
That's the
she's
season
like,
we're on right now.
I'm sorry. Every
Curly
time
hair?
she brought up,
Yeah.
every time she brought up something like ethnically ambiguous, every time she brought up something, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Worst.
I'm sorry."
Yeah,
but anyway,
and he was so easy on her too. He was like,
well,
obviously, like,
because of that, people, because he'd already had his affair, it was like around that time, people like started speculating that he was like sleeping with her or whatever.
shit.
She's
And
got the
so-
worst resting bitch face
Yeah.
in the
Ever.
world.
Yes.
So he had to like contend with that because he was already like trying to fix his like marriage after he had like cheated on his wife. And then like last year, Ruby came out.
and was like,
She's gay. She
Oh.
came out as gay.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she came out
Okay.
as gay on Twitter
Okay.
and had said something like, so like here's to all you guys who thought I was like fucking Paul Hollywood, in not so many words, like not in those words. And then Paul Hollywood like retweeted and was like, I'm happy for you that like you've come out or whatever, but like leave me out of it.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
he's like, he's like, please keep my name out of your mouth because
he's like, I don't need this.
I don't need this. I don't need to be yelled at by my wife when I go home.
dude, I
don't wanna be reminded
literally
of this.
laughed
Yeah.
out loud when she brought that wedding cake forward, and it was like the sunset.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Oh shit! Anyways,
No, not
anyways, it was
No
the most
spoilers.
amateur ass shit I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know how she made it that far. Everyone
don't know
feels that
either.
way. They're like, you were fine. I don't understand how you made it this far.
Oh my god!
You know what? Everyone who does not listen to Great British Bake Off is
I
like,
know. I
oh
know.
my
It's
God.
literally like a 10-minute conversation. I'm like, I wonder
Sorry, guys.
where I'm going to cut around this.
Yeah, they're like fast forward 30 seconds. Fast forward 30 seconds.
sorry.
Oh, they're still talking about cakes. Fast forward.
It's really what we're saying though is like it's
Watch that
fucking
goddamn show.
relaxing. So
Yeah, it
just
is.
watch it. You will
Even
think
if you just want to put it on for bedtime, which is a lot of the times what we are doing now, and
Right.
it's like fucking perfect to go to sleep to.
so
Oh God, they're so
relaxing.
nice to each other. Anyway.
and you pick up like great colloquialisms. So
Oh my gosh, yes. I was telling you the other day from Ruby in the new season. That's where we got the saying that we say all the time where she was like short on time and she was like, "Oh, better get a wiggle on." And I'm like, "Oh, I love it."
I
I'm
like
going to say that all
I
the
like
time.
the one. I don't know if
They were
I'm
talking about
Arthur
Victoria-
or Martha.
I thought you were talking about the Victoria sandwich.
Oh my god. You can also play fun drinking games to it, or there are a lot of crazy desserts that no one's ever heard of, like a Victorian sandwich, that you can decide to make up sex acts to. So,
And we
which is
just
what
lost
did.
all of our British listeners. They're like,
Yeah.
goodbye.
So yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, we do. We do have a percentage of listeners in London. I was just checking today, but yeah. So in case you're wondering, a Victorian sandwich, what we decided.
I think it's just Victoria sandwich.
Victoria sandwich.
Victoria sandwich is when a
It's from
guy.
our past episode.
Yes, it's when a guy will nut on a girl's leg
Or his
and-
own legs.
or his own legs, and they're stuck together.
He'll
and it
squish them
peels
together.
apart, almost like a grilled cheese sandwich.
We have to fucking cut this for sure. It's so gross.
No, it's staying.
But
Oh,
that's it. That's a
God.
Victoria sandwich.
When we say that we played
Am
the
I
meme
wrong
game.
though?
We're classy.
We're the worst.
We
Why
are.
are we allowed to do this?
I don't
I
know.
Oh,
God,
God.
I don't know. This is our first
yeah.
late night recording in a while,
Yes.
and I think we're all a little.
I'm sorry.
We're all a little.
hopped up on all kinds of stuff, as listeners can hear. I'm a little bit congested, so we're
God, the wind
mixing
has been
cold
crazy.
medicine and allergy medicine and
And
ibuprofen and booze,
Which is
on
not
an
what you're
empty
supposed
tummy.
to do. I don't think.
So yeah, cheers to 2019.
Hell yeah. Getting it off with a good start.
Amen. Oh my gosh. Can we talk though about the thing that you posted on our Facebook group about
Yes.
ancestry.com?
Yes.
Which I've been talking to you guys about my mom getting that for Christmas, which I'm so stoked about.
Dude, I still have mine sitting downstairs
I'm
and I've not done it yet.
fucking
The
British
worst.
royalty, which is amazing.
Yeah, you
and
are.
I also like related to like witches in the Salem witch trial, which is so
Fucking
awesome.
So cool.
It's so interesting to me.
I think genealogy is super interesting. It's fascinating.
Yeah. I'm like, who do I know? Like, I want to dig up all the dirt. I want all of the tea on all of my relatives. I already told you guys that, like, no one can find the marriage certificate for my Nana.
And you're like,
and I'm like,
Nana.
shade. Nana was not married and divorced, like she said. It seems like she was just
Getting it on out of wedlock.
bonking a service guy.
Ooh,
you know?
shit.
So, but yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I posted this thing to our My Worst Date group, and this is what it says. It's from a post on Reddit. And it says, earlier this year, Ancestry DNA had a sale on their kit. I thought it would be a great gift idea, so I bought 6 of them for Christmas presents. Today, my family got together to exchange presents for our Christmas Eve tradition. I gave my mom, dad, brother, and 2 sisters each a kit. As soon as everyone opened their gift at the same time, my mom started freaking out. She told us how she didn't want us taking them because they had unsafe chemicals. Such a mom excuse.
Yes.
We explained to her how there were actually no chemicals, but we could tell she was still flustered. Later, she started trying to convince us that only one of us kids needed to take it since we will all have the same results and to resell the extra kits to save money.
Oh my God.
Fast forward, our parents have been fighting upstairs for the past hour, and we are downstairs trying to figure out who of us has a different dad.
Oh shit! She's like, no, it's totally unsafe, guys.
And it's so
unsafe.
funny when I'm like, think back to, like, you know, I have a sister and a brother, and we would constantly be like, we would tell my baby brother like all kinds of crazy stuff, how he was like, you know, he was adopted, and like all kinds of
everyone
stuff.
does that. Every like group of siblings does that.
I know.
My brother and I did it to each other.
Yeah.
Like everyone does that.
Yeah. So it's just
Except
like,
I actually was.
yeah, and so
womp
was I. I was
womp.
like, so I don't know what I was playing at, but yeah, I like that it also had a happy ending though.
Yeah,
It's
so-
kind of like a really cool story. I mean, it's funny just like that. It's like, oh, it's a funny meme, but
You're like,
it's
ruined
actually
Christmas.
So
cool
she
story.
she posted a couple of updates. So her first update said, "Thank you so much for all the love and support. My sister's brother and I have not yet decided if we're going to take the test. No matter what the results are, we will still love each other and our parents no matter what," which is really cute.
Oh, wait, okay.
And then the second update said, "Christmas isn't ruined.
Yay!
My fuck up actually turned into a Christmas miracle.
Aw.
Turns out my sister's father passed away shortly after she was born. A good friend of my mom's was able to help her through the darkest time in her life, and they went on to fall in love and create the rest of our family. They never told us because of how hard it was for my mom. Last night, she was strong enough to share stories and photos with us for the first time, and it truly brought us even closer together as a family.
Aw.
This is a Christmas we will never forget. And yes, we were all excited to get our test results. Merry Christmas, everyone."
I am way too period to hear
You're like,
that. I'm like getting like emotional because it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Sweetest thing.
It's really funny the way that it all like went down with like, oh shit, but the fact that it turned out the way that it did, I just fucking love that story so much.
I love that
Yeah.
story too. But like, here's
Sweet.
the thing. Like, I had a friend of mine who I'm absolutely not going to put her on blast because we're still good friends. I love her very much. But like, when we were in high school, she got pregnant right after high school. So like, I think right after graduation. And she had a kid with this guy who was like a piece of shit guy, kind of. And he denied that he was the father, everything. So she was like, all right, well, I'm going to have this kid. I'm going to raise this kid. Whatever. And then she got with another guy. They were together for years. They lived together. They had 2 more children together. And I had asked her, I was like, okay, are you going to tell like your daughter that she has a different dad than like your sons? And she was like, no.
Oh.
And I really
not
feel like
good.
you should just be transparent with your children because it's
I'm
going
so
to hurt more.
Grateful that my parents
Yeah.
were always upfront with me, and I love the way that they did it. You know, like it's just I
Same.
knew that I wasn't related 100% to my brother and sister, but they were my brother and sister. Same with
It
my
makes
dad.
no difference. I have
He's
two.
my dad.
I have 2 half siblings, and my stepfather is my dad. He's been
Yeah.
in my life since
Yeah.
I was 2. It makes no difference,
Right.
really.
Yeah.
None.
Like in any practical way. Those are my siblings, you
Right.
know?
It would
And
have made
so
a difference had you learned when you were 22.
It would have, it wouldn't have changed my relationship necessarily with my brothers, but it definitely would change my relationship with my parents.
Yeah.
Because I would
agreed.
be like, I would feel lied
Betrayed.
to. Yeah. And there was this whole other thing that you should allow me to make the decision about whether or not I want to pursue anything with, you know, my biological dad or not, or anyone in that family or not, you know? So
you always did stay in touch with your biological
Oh,
family,
yeah. Oh, yeah. My biological father's family, like, I was always over there. There was never any hiding or secrets about any of that.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, I mean, and I understand why she chose the path she chose, because like the only one in her daughter's father's life who wanted to participate was a brother who was like, yeah, that's my niece, and like I'm going to like participate in that. But even the parents were like, no, our son says that he's not the father of your baby, so whatever. Yeah, but it makes me sad for the brother, you know,
who raised you.
Yeah, exactly,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
That's the reason why he's like that.
And she looks
that.
just like him, so I'm like, okay.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that this story had a happy ending, but like, just be upfront and you can avoid all that panic.
It makes me think of a conversation, weirdly enough, that I was having with my coworker today, which makes me laugh because, like, you know, the whole like period thing and being like a few days late, of course, even though it's like not possible, you still, no matter how old you are always like, oh my God, but am I pregnant?
But could I be?
And so we were laughing about that, you know, being, you know, in our 30s, having had periods like forever, that's always like something that comes into your head. And she's like, that's always bothered me that's never the case on any pregnancy test commercial. It's always someone that's like excited to see the results. And I'm like, that is literally 1% of the population that is buying pregnancy tests. It's not the fucking chick that's freaking out in CVS trying to find like the cheapest one.
I'm waiting for that pregnancy test commercial.
That's
my
real
God,
deal.
I'm waiting
That's
for
the
that.
real.
Because that is the real. It's like 90% of the time.
The high school girl who's like, fuck,
I don't want to have to tell my parents I'm having sex yet.
I know.
Yeah, that's who that is.
And it's a negative. They're like, yes.
Yeah, they're celebrating. I'm like, that's literally the vast majority of the people buying your product.
I find commercials to be like really fascinating because when I did a body hair episode for my other podcast, we were talking about how like there are now there is like one, but before there were 0 shaving commercials where the woman had any hair on her legs or armpits. Yeah. Yes. And I'm just like, why did we just accept that? Like, that's normal. Like, just be like, whoo. And she's like running the razor over her armpit and it's hairless. Like, that's not normal.
No, it's not.
It's so strange. Like, advertising to women is so odd.
I know. Well, I mean, look at like makeup, fashion, all of it. It's just designed to be like, you have hair on your bodies. You have this kind of skin. You have something wrong with you. Buy this product.
Yeah.
Buy this product.
The beauty industry thrives on women feeling insecure about themselves.
Yeah. And they're winning.
They are winning. I feel it. I'm highly insecure. I have to wear.
People paid lots of money to make me feel like shit. So congratulations. You're earning your fucking paycheck.
One. I will be wearing Spanx on New Year's Eve. Thank you.
Oh, man. Well, this is My Worst Date podcast, by the way. You're meandering along with us. I'm Christina.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan. Hi. So we have a new patron on our Patreon. Someone we love dearly and is a good friend of ours. So Mackenzie, Scotty, we love you so much. It means so much to us that you would join us there on Patreon. So thank you.
Yes, we love it.
And if you're not a patron yet, just know that we did an early release. This will be coming out after the fact. So we did an early release for our tickets for our live show, which we just made the Eventbrite Live. We also have a brand new brand new website. Hi, with links to everything, including our Patreon page, including links to our Eventbrite and our live shows that we have coming up. So we're really excited about launching this new stuff. It's really exciting.
Yes. Yeah. So you can find our website at myworstdatepodcast.com.
Yep.
And you can find tickets to our live shows. Those will be on February 8th and February 9th at 8 p.m. You can find those tickets at myworstdatelive.eventbrite.com.
And we'll be sharing a link to that as well on our Facebook page, as well as
Everywhere.
Yeah,
In the
everywhere.
show notes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be in the show notes as well. So, also joining us for our live show on that Saturday is going to be Boobies and Newbies. Kelly is going to be doing a short episode of her podcast, which we super love, big fans of.
And tune in next week to hear who's going to be our Friday guest.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited. We don't know yet. It's TBD, but we should have it by then locked in. So,
Correct.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, okay. That was business taken care of.
Yeah.
Fuck, marry, kill time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One of our patrons put in one, right?
Yes. So we're going to do late night talk show host.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked about this one.
Okay.
All
right.
I've got a great affinity for late night talk show.
Okay. Who would you pick for yours?
Ooh.
I see it was a Conan girl.
No, I mean, he's tall and like, but I don't
I
like
ate lunch
goofy.
next to him once. He's very, very tall.
Yeah, he's
You ate lunch
enorme.
next to him?
Yes, because I used to work at WB.
Oh, sure.
On the lot, and I would go on the lot to like eat lunch sometimes. And he was there with his son, and he was in
Aw.
like the commissary area.
He seems genuinely nice.
He seems nice. I mean, you're not allowed to talk to anyone.
Right,
it's like
of
a
course.
rule
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're on the lot. You're not
Of
allowed to like
course.
approach anybody. But he sat next to us, and he seemed nice. His kid was really cute.
Aw.
I think mine would actually be Seth Meyers.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Funny,
Sorry, I just took a drink.
snarky.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's my jam. Close second would be Stephen Colbert.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay.
Who was the original Daily Show? What's his name?
John Stewart.
Jon
Stewart.
Oh,
we
God.
all agree that he is literally the
So
best.
Smoking. Yes.
I miss him
I
so
I mean,
much.
and he's not even smoking, but something about him is just like,
Yeah, no, he's great.
he's attractive.
So hot.
Oh, God. Okay, so you're gonna do Seth Meyers.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like, we can't do all attractive.
Can we do
people,
the-
Can we? Or
Can we do the
Yeah.
guys from SNL?
Oh, God.
That's
I
a
mean,
talk show per
it doesn't
se.
count, but also Colin Jost.
Yeah, that's all
Wow.
I'm saying. Colin Jost.
Yeah, he's pretty hot.
Wow,
Yeah.
you're hot. I mean, he is dating
So
Scarlett Johansson.
Who do
so.
we have? We have Jimmy Fallon. We have James Corden. We have Stephen Colbert. We have
John Oliver.
John. Oh. No, I'm
well,
sticking
does
with
he
Seth
count?
Meyers.
Does he count? Because it's only one night a week.
Yeah, it's just one night a week. I think you got to go with the
Okay.
traditional.
Like a daily.
Okay, then you
Late
have
night.
James Corden as
It's
well.
Trevor Noah.
You've got Trevor Noah.
Is that daily? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Daily Show.
I'm
Ooh.
sure there's ones that we're forgetting.
I feel like
Oh,
we should go a
God.
harder route. Like I like the harder ones. It's funnier.
That's true.
Conan.
Oh my God, is he still does he
David
still even have
Letterman.
a show?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Do we do the traditional ones?
We
do
could
we
do
do
Jay
we
Leno.
do Jay Leno,
David Letterman.
and who
Who was
else?
the really
Conan.
Jimmy Carson or
Conan was the late
Conan?
night one
Okay,
after that.
so
oh my
let's
God,
do-
that's impossible.
Ugh,
no?
that
We're
is
we're
impossible.
gonna do it.
Oh, that is impossible.
I
That's
think it's-
impossible.
Okay. Do you want to do one round of hot and one round of not?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
yes.
so-
Let's do old school.
Old school versus new school. Our
okay.
old school ones will be Jay Leno, David Letterman, and Conan.
Okay.
Oh,
And you just visibly shuddered. Cool. And then our new school ones will be
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers,
Trevor Noah.
and I mean I think we have to go Colbert because I think
Okay.
that's more of a
yeah.
like
Okay.
he's more of like a
Okay.
Okay.
staple, right?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Not. I will go first.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
You doing old school first?
I'm doing the old school.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am going to I'm going to kill Jay Leno because he's a fucking dirty piece of
He
shit.
seems very obnoxious.
He is obnoxious and I hate him.
Wow.
You
I'll lay that
really have
out there.
strong
Damn,
feelings.
no
I have strong
shit.
feelings.
Why do you hate him so,
so
much?
nice.
No. He's like such a piece of shit. He's like a dirty narcissist prick or whatever. I've seen so
Wow.
many like documentaries about the like late night wars and the stuff he did to like I don't know, get to where he is, and also like he just seems,
I could see that.
Yeah.
Anyone who owns that many vintage cars is suspicious.
Yeah, and then like the whole thing that went down with him and Conan, with Conan supposedly like
the Team Coco situation.
yes, yes. And I'm just like he fucked not only Conan but like all the people like behind the scenes that were like working on that job because he's just such a narcissist.
I see. Okay,
I don't like him.
All
I don't
right.
like him at all,
Cool.
and I don't like his face.
Okay.
So that being said,
So you're killing him?
I'm killing him.
right off the bat,
Got
dead.
it.
Oh, this is tough. And then I'm going to marry Conan because he's just nice. He's a good like family man. He's a little bit. He seems like a little
eccentric.
quirky and
Yeah.
eccentric, but it
I'm
would be
into
fun.
it. You'll have very tall children.
And then this is not going to be a pleasant
No.
task.
But you're going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I've had worse experiences, I suppose, but it'll
if
be
it turns out
hard
he's
pressed to. You know, I just really don't see that happening.
He's got a beard now. It's weird.
It's
I
a
don't
beard
know.
ruins
And
it.
I just, I'm gonna unpopular opinion. I never thought he was funny.
Same.
At all.
Not
Same.
really.
At all.
I didn't think Jay Leno was funny either, to be honest.
Oh,
I
Jay
think
Leno was
I think
the worst.
Coco's funny.
Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah. I'm going to do the same as you.
Yeah.
And listen, maybe we'll be surprised by David Letterman. I mean, he did have a woman literally obsessed with him. There's a Crazy in Love story for you.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, I think, on the podcast.
We didn't do it as a Crazy in Love.
No, but we did
No,
talk about it
but we
briefly.
Yeah,
talked
but
about it
in the
briefly
Rado
during
Mania
John.
episode.
Yeah, exactly.
So who knows? Maybe there's like a tiger under those suspenders. I don't know.
Take her to the
I just know for a fact, like, there's something about his face that I'm like, he is a taker, not a giver.
Both
like, he would
him-
not.
Both him and Jay Leno there's a smugness there.
There's a smugness
That
where
I
it's
don't
like,
like.
they would expect you to like
Do all the work.
do all the work, like go down there and everything. I don't want to be too crass, but I'm positive.
Why stop
Since
now,
when?
Victoria Sandwich?
But I'm like, I'm positive. Some guys, just looking at him, they're like, you don't want to eat pussy.
No.
Yeah, no. I don't want that
Also,
beard down there
I
anyway.
don't want Jay Leno down there
Ugh.
either.
Yeah.
That
That
big
chin.
chin. I say this as a big chinned gal. Like, no.
David Letterman with that
You do
beard.
not have a big chin. What the fuck are you
I
talking
did.
about?
My brother told me once. He was just like,
Oh,
your chin
God.
sticks all the way out. I'm like, thank you
No.
very much.
No. Oh my God. One
so
person
silly.
said one time something about something, and then
with
it's
me
like
forever.
I hear you.
So what are you going to be the same?
I'm probably going to be the same. I'm going to say it. I don't have as visceral an opinion of Jay Leno.
None of us do.
I'm going to, you know what? In fact, I'm going to switch it up because I actually do find Jay Leno funnier.
Okay.
He used to do a segment on there like where he would like read headlines that I fucking thought was
Okay.
hilarious.
That was a funny segment.
And I
I will say I would rather watch Jay Leno than David Letterman.
Agree.
I'm gonna switch it because I have never really been a David Letterman fan. I politically like him because I think that he's more left wing and Jay is more right wing.
Yeah.
Correct.
But,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a one night stand and it kills. So I'm just, I'm gonna marry Conan and I'm gonna fuck Jay.
There's
Leno
only
and-
one Mary situation
And yeah,
in,
I mean,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to marry Conan. Yeah.
Now we'll get to the tricky one,
Whoa.
which is what do you do with
The new school?
the new school ones?
All
Okay,
right.
so hold on.
'Cause
We
they
said
are
Seth Meyers.
attractive.
Seth Meyers,
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, and
Trevor Noah.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh,
Colbert.
Colbert.
Okay.
This is impossible.
Oh no, I've got mine.
Really?
I've got
Go.
it.
Go,
I've got
go
it.
for it.
I am going to, and part of me feels a little bit bad about this, but I am going to kill Jimmy Fallon. You couldn't stop laughing on SNL, so get your shit together, first of all. And secondly, that whole thing he did during the election where he was like tousling Trump's hair, where I was just like, this is unsavory. I don't like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and kill Jimmy Fallon. Just
Right.
get him off the table.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I am going to, not that I think it's going to be particularly great, but I like him. So I'm going to go ahead and fuck Stephen Colbert just so I can marry Seth Meyers.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm different.
I
Okay,
know.
you're different.
I vacillated. I have the same kill, but like choosing who to fuck and who to marry
I
was
could
tough.
marry either one of them because I
tough.
think that Seth is a better lay. I think he's going to be more.
Well, you do
better
it more
in bed.
often.
Stephen Colbert is so funny, though. You know what? I'm going to change it up. I'm going to marry Stephen Colbert.
And
I'm
have
going to
you
fuck Seth Meyers.
actually? Have you heard Stephen Colbert's like marriage story?
Wait, what?
No.
Oh my god,
Is it not good?
No, it's so cute.
Okay.
It's
I was
so
gonna say, I
cute.
thought he was like married forever.
I can't. Yeah, they have been, and like I can't retell the story because I've seen it a long time ago. But I'll put it up on our Facebook, and maybe we can find a video to put on our Instagram. But he. Like it was very sweet. He seems like a very sweet husband who loves his wife very much. So
Yeah.
I think you can't go wrong marrying Stephen Colbert either.
Okay.
So
yeah.
good choice.
And
Well, I don't want to ruin his happy home, so I'm going to kill him. Yeah, I'm sorry. Doing it.
Oh, shit. Unpopular
We're
opinion.
rocked. We're
Okay.
rocked here in the
Okay.
pod loft.
I'm going to say it. I think he's funny and I enjoy him, but there is not one small piece of me that's attracted to him.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, he's
Jimmy
so
Fallon.
bookish.
I'll fuck
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon. He's probably very selfish in bed, but so am I. So it'll be fast. And
You guys will be at a
painless.
standoff the entire time.
No. I'll win. I always do. And then I'm gonna marry Seth because God bless America. Is that guy the cutest thing
He's
ever?
like
He
the
is
cutest.
I
so
might break
cute.
him, but he's cute.
Favorite thing ever would be on SNL when he was the Weekend Update and
Yes.
freaking
Stefan.
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 Yes, him and Stefan. Those
Yes.
are like my favorite moments of all time.
Did you know that, and this is something I just learned, that John Mulaney, the comedian,
Yeah.
wrote all
Yeah.
of Stefan's things,
Yeah.
and he didn't know. That's why he did that the whole time.
That's
I
why
had
he
no
did that,
idea.
'cause he didn't know
It was
what he was
brand
going to
new to
say.
him.
and he-
I had no idea about that
It's
until
literally
like
my favorite
recently.
bit. Like of
I
all
love
time.
John Mulaney.
I fucking love John Mulaney. We'll do comedians sometime soon.
Ooh.
That'll be a fun one.
That'll be a good
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
cool.
Well, very good answers, ladies, all around. We all chose different ones for the new
Yep.
school.
That's
Different
nice.
mixed it up.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take 5, and then we will be back with stories. Cool.
Okay, we are back. Sorry. And we're down to business because we were talking about gift cards as gifts.
The best.
It's the best.
It is the fucking best.
My fiance got me a $100 gift card to Sephora, and
That's a
I
win.
got him a star map of when we first met. And he's like, "That's so thoughtful. My gift wasn't thoughtful. I just got you a gift card." And I'm like, "Do you not know me at all?"
he got you
I
2
fucking
gifts.
yes,
Two
the
gifts
gift
in
of
one.
shopping and $100
Exactly.
for whatever
It's
I wanted to
amazing.
spend it on. I was like, "This is fantastic," and I will be buying some Fenty with this. Thank
Oh,
you.
amazing.
I
and
will
people,
be.
I
people
don't
need
understand
to
people who are upset about this.
I know.
I
I,
don't get
think
it.
gift cards are incredible.
I
always
was
said
telling
that.
you guys how I saw that list of like things not to give
Ugh.
at Christmas, and like gift cards was on them and alcohol was on it. And I was like,
I'll
two
take
of my
both.
favorite
Yes.
things.
Always welcome.
Yes.
Always.
I'm going
Right.
to buy the alcohol anyway. If you give it to me, you're literally saving me money. This is fantastic.
Right.
I
Yeah.
love this.
Yeah.
I mean, I could understand if it's people you don't know. Maybe.
Sure. Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, my friend was saying how she got Prosecco Pong for their white elephant gift. She got the Prosecco Pong game, which is just like beer pong, but like with
Prosecco.
you know, yeah, and with like not champagne flutes, but the wide champagne glasses.
Oh, okay.
And a bottle of Prosecco for their white elephant gift. And I'm like, that's genius. That's great.
Yeah,
amazing.
I would
love
love
that.
that.
That'd be
I would
great.
fight for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be a definite fight.
Popular.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So sorry, I know we're breaking with format by not going immediately into stories, but we had to get that out there because don't be ashamed to get gift cards for people
Yes.
at Christmas. It's the best.
It's always the best gift.
Yes.
I'm speaking for myself and for like, I think most people that
Yeah,
I know.
I don't
Yeah.
know any friend of mine that would say, "Oh, I hate gift cards." Like it literally is. I always used to say that too. When
Literally.
my mom was like, "Oh, I feel weird about that." I'm like, "Don't. It's the double gift. I never go shopping. And I hate spending money. So it's like 2 gifts. It really is
Listen,
2
I
gifts.
don't want to buy a $25 pillow at Target, but if
But
you
I
give me a
will.
gift card,
Yeah.
like the 2 times I went on the Ellen show, like to be in the audience, both times she gave like $100 Visa card.
Amazing.
And I went to Target and bought shit for my house. So, like
Yes.
I would never
You would
spend
never
that
do
money
it.
for myself. Like,
Yeah.
but I was like,
Ellen.
yeah, thank you, Ellen. You brought my decorative pillows. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Dude, Why the fuck are decorative pillows $25
Why?
at Target?
Seriously.
I don't know.
That's the dumbest thing
Wait,
I've ever
the dumbest
seen in my
thing-
life.
The dumbest thing is when you have to get like a chair, like an occasional chair, like a chair that you would sit in like your living room. Why are fucking chairs, just a chair, so fucking expensive?
I don't know. It's like when you look at a table and you're like, okay, that's not so bad. But then you're like, oh, I have to get 4 to 6 chairs to put at it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, now it's $1 million because
Right.
the chairs are $100 each.
Yeah.
But
That's insanity.
seriously, though, like, I see no reason why a pillow costs $25.
No, it's fabric and stuffing. I have a throw that I bought, like a throw, like not even like a real blanket.
Yeah.
It's a throw decorative for your like couch.
Yeah.
And that shit was like $40. I'm
No.
like, why is this so expensive?
I know. Speaking of gift cards, got an Amazon gift card. And so I want to throw for my couch. And I'm looking and I'm like, why are these so expensive? This is so
know.
stupid.
It is dumb. It is dumb. You know what this means? We should start our own home line.
Yeah.
I know. I'm going to start making
With all our
pillows now,
spare
and I'll be
time.
like, you
Yes.
know what? Like $25 is actually a decent amount. I'm like, we're bitching about it,
Dude,
and like,
it takes
I'm like, there's
10
somebody
minutes to
that
make a pillow.
It really does. It takes no time.
Like, would go to Joann Fabrics. I'm gonna make my own goddamn pillows.
You know, but why don't we do it then? I have a fucking sewing
I do
machine.
too.
We should make our own pillows. Okay,
real.
problem
All right.
solved. Anyway.
Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna start with stories because I have a crazy love that I'm really fucking excited about. This story comes to us from our patron Matthew Parker. Super stoked about it.
Yay.
And he says, hey, you guys, I know this is a very long story, and if you don't want to bring it up on the podcast, no hard feelings. He's so cute. It is actually hysterical because it's a meet the parents story. So this was about 10 years ago. It had been about a month into mine and my ex-girlfriend's relationship. We had been holding hands, kissing and cuddling both at school and on the bus to and from school.
Oh, as a former bus taker, that's the cutest.
Is
In the
it?
back, on the back seat, like
Yep.
you always tried to get in that back bench because
Yep.
like that's where the magic happened.
Also where
was
the heater
back
was.
bench, also where the heater was.
Yeah.
You know what's up.
I do.
That's right.
Because we were in the very exciting beginning stage of our teenage romance, and because we lived less than a mile away from each other, we inevitably started to make plans to meet each other late at night to
Ooh.
spend even more time together. After days of deliberation, we decided that when the time was right, I would be the one to sneak out of my house and into hers. This
Oh
was-
my God.
This is so fucking
no.
incredible. This is like a freaking what's that Claire Danes show?
Oh,
My So-Called Life.
Yeah.
I'm getting so My So-Called Life vibes. This was partly because my parents never checked on me throughout the night, and partly because her door was the one with a lock on it. Your parents like lock her in at night?
They're like,
Is
sleep
this
tight.
Is this Rapunzel?
Oh my God.
As you can imagine, we had this night built up like every hour of every day, with the plan being that I scale the side of her house, jump onto the roof,
Oh, honey.
romantically knock on her window, and she would
Oh.
let me in from there. Turns
Oh.
out it's much easier said than done.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, you
Yeah.
don't understand. There were times when I was a kid where I was like romanticizing the idea of like sneaking out, you know, like tie your sheets together and
Oh
like
my God.
sneak out or whatever. Because my childhood house in Las Vegas, like the window overlooked the backyard, and at some point my parents put like a pergola over the back.
Oh shit!
So it was like right below me, and I was kind of like, I wonder if I could like jump from my window and get there. And every time I chickened out because I'm like, that
yeah.
shit is much scarier than you think it is.
Yeah.
Like,
I jumped from a second story window.
Jesus.
My 18th birthday, I forget why, I was like grounded or something.
Oh God.
And my window was on the second story, and everybody had fallen asleep, and my friends were going to pick me up down the street, and I knew they were waiting for me, but my dad for some reason decided to like watch TV and fall asleep like in the living room,
Oh,
which had the
God,
window
no.
directly underneath it.
No.
So I like climbed out and like I don't know how I thought I was going to get back into the fucking house,
Right.
but I climbed out the window and like hung from it, and literally my body is like hanging in front of the window. So my feet are over there,
this
and
is
I
a
just
scene
like
from a movie.
dropped. It was I fucking got away with it. And shout out to my sister Julia for like waking up when I threw rocks at the window later and like sneaking out of her bedroom and unlocking the back door for me to get back in.
Amazing. And I'm very impressed that you did not break anything.
No shit.
Doing that.
Yeah. But there you go. So for Matthew, the night finally came. I effortlessly snuck out of my house around midnight and headed to her house. I was so nervous, I almost thought of an excuse to turn around and go home multiple times.
Oh, no.
At one point during the walk, I had gotten the thought into my head that this was all a setup and both of our families were at her house waiting for me to show up to ground me for life. And yet, being a teenage boy, the thought of the plan actually working kept me on the path. I mean, they're going to make out. Of course, he's like, no stopping me now. After about 10 minutes, I had finally arrived. There was no setup, thankfully, and it had already felt as though we were getting away with something. She gets my attention.
The best feeling. The most fun.
I know. You're like living on the edge. She gets my attention from her window while I'm in the driveway, and I suddenly realize how big a 2-story home is.
Oh, God.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Oh, so the only thing available to step on is a small accent of the house, which stuck out about 3 inches, not making it a great foothold. I managed to get both my feet on it, and as soon as it did, I could feel it start to crumble under my feet. I mean,
no.
Oh, so now you're about to wreck their property. That's not going to get you in good with their daughter. Like, you know what I mean?
Not only that, but when I tried to grab a roof tile, it started to slide off the roof.
No.
Those aren't attached to hold body weight. When I had realized that the feet was too much for me to handle, I was forced to have an awkward whisper conversation with my girlfriend.
Oh, no.
While I was whispering her, I didn't think the roof could handle me. I could sense the frustration she had felt for me. So after about 7 minutes, she finally offered to open the back door for me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I understand that she really wanted that romantic. That's what she wanted.
Yeah.
She had something pictured in her head.
Yeah.
She wanted it to happen.
Climb in my window.
She's like,
all right, fine.
Do it. Yeah.
Fine.
Okay, fine.
Open
I
the
guess
back
I'll let you
door.
in the back door.
Well, I mean, there's less chance of her getting caught, like sneaking past. She's like, you do all the hard work.
That's
if you
right.
get caught, you get in
I'd be
trouble.
like, bitch, you can't drop a rope or something?
Right?
Like, make this easy for me?
So he says I would stay over until about 4:30 a.m. and leave through the back door from which I came. We managed to do this successfully and then only wanted to do it more. You
Of
fucking
course.
pimp.
Yeah, you
That's
got
some
it.
pimp shit, man.
Dude, that's
I swear
Amazing.
to God.
It's taking me right back to
Oh,
that
yeah.
age where you're like,
Oh, totally.
when you got away with shit like that, like,
yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep doing it then.
oh, man.
Oh my God. We would also go on to do it a second time without getting caught. Fast forward to the third rendezvous. We planned it the night
Oh, I'm so
before
nervous.
the morning of her birthday.
Oh, nope, not smart.
The idea of it, the previous 2 meetups were during the weekend, but since the idea of being together on her birthday was so romantic to us, we decided to do a weekday.
Oh,
That's where you went wrong. And also a birthday. Moms like to do some weird shit
Yep.
in the mornings on birthdays.
Yep.
You cannot
that is
trust
a fucking
it.
fact.
Yeah.
And also, he says, fact is, her parents left for work fairly early in the morning.
That's right. She didn't warn you about this?
Yeah. So
You
there
didn't
we
know?
were laying in her bed. It was about the time I normally left, so like 4:30 a.m.
Oh, God.
But we figured
God.
I may be able to leave after both of her parents were gone.
No.
All of a sudden, while we were talking about if we would prefer a home on the beach or in the mountains, I love it. I'm fucking dying.
Classic teenage conversation.
Oh, my God.
I love that.
Oh, my God. You know what? I'm really thinking a Mountain View would be nice. But you know what? I've always wanted to live by the beach.
I would love to open my window and look out on a beach.
This is such a teenage
Personally.
conversation.
No, it's such a teenage conversation. You have your world ahead of you, your life ahead of
You're
you.
like, we're going to have 3 kids, and you name them and all that
You're
stuff.
playing MASH together. Did you guys
Yes.
ever play MASH?
Yes.
You end up in a mansion driving a Maserati.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. So all of a sudden, a knock overcame the room.
Get under the bed, Matthew. Get
That-
under the bed.
That exact moment, I sprawled from the bed like a cat and made a mass dash to the closet.
That's right.
Yep.
Mid-sprint, her doorknob turned to be opened by her dad.
No.
And I heard the lock stop it from opening. It was like staring down the barrel of a gun.
Oh, no.
My soul left my body for a second.
No.
But at the same time, it was an incredible
Oh,
relief.
I feel the cold sweat accumulating on my neck right now.
I managed to make it to the closet, but only with my underwear.
Where's his clothes?
All of my other articles of clothing were in the middle of her floor.
Oh.
My God, I'm fucking dying right now. My girlfriend finally opened the door for her dad after stalling for as long as she could. He told her happy birthday, he loved her, and then he paused.
Oh.
I could sense the suspicion in his voice when he started to ask questions like, why is the fan on? Aren't you cold? Why are you sweating? What's that smell? Smell is. You know what that fucking smell is. But dussy.
Oh, no.
Do you guys know that? Is that just a word that I know?
That's just a word that you
Yeah,
know.
I don't know
I've
about
never
that.
heard that
Booty,
before.
dick, and pussy.
Oh.
But dussy.
Oh.
You guys didn't used to
No.
say that when you were
No.
teens?
There is nothing
No.
that makes me want to have children less than
Oh my God.
smelling
But dussy.
of your kid. Of your kid.
This is the worst. So after talking to him for... I'm fucking...
Oh, God. I am dying.
crying. After talking to him for about 10 minutes, he was hesitant, but he left. Just as I was about to let my breath out, her mom knocks on the door.
Oh, no.
Now, you might get one past your dad.
No.
Not your
but
mom.
let me tell you, are you going to get
No.
past your fucking mom?
Fucking no.
Nada.
No.
When I was a kid
No.
once, I tried to hide a friend under my bed, thinking that my mom wouldn't find out. Didn't last fucking 2 minutes.
Moms
They
know
know
everything.
everything.
know everything.
You think Sherlock Holmes, like, has the dish?
Sherlock Moms, what's
exactly.
I went
That's
through a
what's
period
up.
as a child where I legit like believed that my mom had eyes in the back of her head because she told me she did, and it seemed to like
Be true.
play out. Right?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, no, she does.
No, and legit, like, if you got away with something, it's because your mom let you get away with
yeah,
something.
yeah, you got away with
Your mom
nothing.
knew.
Oh, yeah.
She just
Yeah.
didn't feel like fucking with you at
She
that
was like,
point.
pick
She
my
was
battles.
over it. Exactly. So when my girlfriend opens the door, her mom starts to question her about her weird behavior.
Why are you acting
It's
so
4:30
sus?
in the morning.
Why are you wide awake at 4:30? That'd be the major red
Exactly.
flag. You're wide awake.
Her answers this time were not sufficient.
Oh,
So her mom entered the room.
Oh, no.
After a few seconds, she knew something wasn't right and demanded my girlfriend's phone. My heart is beating out of my chest at this point. She started to read our text conversations aloud.
No.
Can't wait to see you tonight. I'll unlock the back door for you.
No.
Oh, God, the pain.
And
I'm
then-
feeling serious pain right now.
Oh, no.
She paused and then at full mom volume screamed, "Where the hell is he?"
Oh, no.
My heart drops.
Oh,
I'm about to go unconscious.
Oh, no.
It's not even like hyperbole. Like, I know
Oh, no.
that feeling must have been like disaster.
She
God.
opens the
Oh,
closet
no.
door, starts to scan the ground, and my pale white feet catch her eye.
I like it that he thought enough to get on the ground and cover himself with stuff.
Her jaw drops. I thought she was about to call the police on me.
Oh, no.
But instead, she grabbed my arm with the mom claw of death and escorted me downstairs,
Oh, no.
yelling at
in
my
an underwear. In his underwear.
yelling at my girlfriend to bring my clothes down.
There's nothing
Oh
more
my God.
embarrassing.
I am dying.
She then called my girlfriend's dad, and he shortly arrived soon after that.
Oh, no.
We were both then yelled at for longer than an hour, asked multiple rhetorical questions such as, "Do you think we are stupid? Why would you do this?" etc. I must have cried enough tears for him because he pointed at the front door and said he thought it was time we were introduced. I happily took the opportunity, not wanting to give him even a second to reconsider. He goes on to walk down their patio to find a locked gate, and he didn't want to go back in to ask them to unlock it, so he tried to climb it. No. All of a sudden, bam, the entirety of the wall I was standing on completely ripped apart from the rest of the house. I can't even. Oh, no. He quickly got up, grabbed the largest piece of wall I could find on the ground, and tried to shove it back, hoping it would stick, and then ran the entire way home.
This poor my heart hurts because
literally is my fucking favorite Meet the Parents story.
Among
That's
Us?
Meet the Parents. That's like
That's like a fucking movie. It's so
Who
funny.
among us like hasn't been? I mean, not in that situation, but like in a situation where you're just like so fucking mortified, and then like
so in trouble
and
with
then
your parents.
so in trouble, and then
Dude.
insult to injury is added on it. Whenever you do something like that's classic
Extra.
Keegan, where I'm like, now I'm gonna break something you
Now
own.
we'll break your
And
house.
I can't like
God.
I can't go in and say anything about it because that would make the situation so much worse. Imagine if he went inside and he was like, sorry to interrupt, while she's getting fucking yelled at.
Been totally grounded.
And then is like, so I broke your house. Okay, bye. By the way, can someone let me out? Sorry, bye.
Oh.
the gate's locked.
Oh, she's in so much trouble. She's in so much trouble on her birthday.
Dude, ballsy used to like break in and stay the night with his girlfriend.
Their dick got too big. Listen,
Yeah.
They were like,
too
got
confident.
this.
They were too confident.
Dude, we used to break out of my friend Kelly's house all the time, and she had like this basement room. This is the same house that I think I've told you about that used to have like copious amounts of alcohol in it, had a pool table, a
Party
jukebox,
house.
fucking everything. VHS is a porn and a fucking thing. This
Not even like locked or anything.
dude, I did.
damn.
Yeah,
They were confident.
It was cray. Anyway,
Yeah.
we used to sneak out of there was a basement window you could easily sneak in and out of. We used to get away with it all the time until one night it was like raining and we came back in, mud prints all over the fucking place.
It was
Well, like we didn't think that like, oh, we won't get caught. We never get caught. Her parents never come in the basement.
No, dude, I know. I
Ugh.
mean, like, that's the teenage brain for you.
Oh, yeah.
You get, like,
Yeah.
too fucking cocky. Like, I used to tell my mom all the time that I was staying the night with my friend Sienna, which, by the way, Sienna just got engaged. Congratulations to you, Sienna. But I used to tell my mom all the time I was staying the night with her when I was actually staying the night, like, literally 2 blocks away at my boyfriend's house.
Oh.
And one time, like, I didn't. I know, listen. I mean, I was, like, 19. It's not like I was.
Oh, okay.
I was still living at home, but I was like 19, but still like I was a virgin, or my mom thought I was virgin. So
Oh, no.
So cute.
it was a problem whenever like I did not respond to her texts quickly enough, like in the evening. So she went driving and she knew where my boyfriend lived. So she drove by there. Didn't say anything to me until I got home the next morning. And then did the mom thing, which was like, how was your night?
Oh.
And I'm
Don't
just
you
like,
love that
oh,
when
you know.
people like no, they're like,
Yeah.
lie to me now.
Yeah,
Lie
exactly.
to me.
You have chocolate on your face. What happened to the chocolate? Oh.
I don't know.
Uh-uh.
And then I did lie to her. And then she
Oh.
called me out. And then I cried and cried.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You're like,
That's how I ended up like living with my substitute teacher for like 3 days
Siri?
my senior year.
Siri, what?
what? Wait, there's a story here. What?
That's a story for another time. Maybe
Oh,
I'll share
man.
it for my next podcast. But that's my major sneaking out story.
Damn, dude.
That's a saga.
You won't get away with it. That's the thing. You're not going to
Your
get
mom,
away with it.
Your mom will
Your
know.
mom will find out.
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
Exactly.
I hope if any teenagers are listening, which first of all, I don't know how I feel about that, but if you are, like, your mom
stop listening.
will find out.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
All right. Mine comes from an email we got. It says, ahoy hoy. My name is Elle. I'm 26, but when I was 19, I had the worst date of my life.
Oh.
All right,
So-
let's hear it.
Yeah, I was a bit of a late bloomer. So I didn't have my first real date until I was 19. I didn't date much in high school due to crippling social anxiety. Fun.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Understood.
Got it.
Relatable.
Yeah.
The gent was a friend of my sister's. Well, my sister and I had a lot of the same friends, so a friend of a friend. This guy went to college with my friend. He was He was not really my type, but he was into me, so I was into him. Also relatable.
Yeah,
You're like, yeah,
exactly.
somebody likes me. Yay. You'll do.
That's literally all of my high school years. I'm just like, this is fine.
Yeah.
Anyone who likes me, I automatically like you too.
Sounds good. Okay.
My options are limited.
He was 22 at the time, and we connected at first on Facebook, then exchanged phone numbers and began texting. Before we even went on the date or met in person, he would text me every day, like 5 times a day. And
That's too many.
Even
Too
at
many.
19, totally new to dating, I knew this was weird and clingy.
Yeah.
But
Unless you're texting back. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started dating people back in the day, back when texting was new, like, it was like all day, every day,
Oh,
both
sure.
of you were texting each
Well,
other.
And it's the other thing too. It's like it's different if you're both into it.
Right.
Yeah.
If one of you is texting you 10 times a day and the other one is not responding,
Get the
red
hint.
flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like slow your roll. But
Yeah.
like I know for the people that I've been interested in, it's like you want to, like you're excited to
Yeah.
communicate with them, and then if they're interested in you back, it's like it's not an
Yeah, it
issue
depends,
to
yeah.
text back and forth.
Along that vein, though, you know, or I know, if I'm texting someone and I send them 2 text messages and
Yeah.
I don't get a response back, I'm having an internal battle with
Oh, yeah.
myself where I'm sweating and I'm like, oh my God, they don't like me.
And
Oh my God, they don't like me.
turn your
I-
fucking read receipts off.
Yes.
Everybody, can we public service announcement that the
mine
amount
are
of
on.
anxiety
Yeah, I think
that
Cassie's
gives?
are on.
oh, mine are
Where-
solid on, and I don't give a fuck if you know I read.
Oh shit! You're
I
like,
don't
I
give a
read
fuck.
this.
Yep.
And I
I'll get
ain't
back
got
you,
time.
you and Amy did the same
I'll
thing.
get back to you when I get back to you.
Amy turned hers back on.
Oh, I
On
did.
No, I
purpose.
want
Oh,
to
I did
let
too.
you know.
I did too.
That's
Mine are on purpose. I want you to know. I don't give a fuck if you know I read it. I don't owe anybody anything.
Turn it off. Those of us with social anxiety.
I'm with you,
I'm
Christina.
just like, please,
like,
I
oh,
don't want to know.
If
I know
10
that
minutes
you're
have gone
probably
by and I
busy.
know that you've read it, then I'm just like, do you hate me? You hate me. You hate me now.
You hate
me. Okay, great.
Wait, what did I do? I pissed you off, didn't I? I knew it.
I'm
I knew
hated, so I'm just gonna go. I'll just go kill myself now.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Exactly.
Bye.
If I don't get back to you, it's usually if I'm like, the only time I don't get back to somebody immediately is if I'm like in the car with
you're
like a rep
busy,
or
yeah, yeah.
something. Like I
Cassie, you're
can't.
the best at like getting.
You
back
are.
I'm
with
usually
somebody.
pretty-
So
yeah.
yeah, it's fine.
And if I don't, and you saw that read receipt,
What did
No,
you
just like-
do? What did you do?
you don't owe me. I do what I want. Anyway, she says, I know this was weird and clingy, but I was too nice and just brushed it off. Okay, so we planned to go out. I didn't plan the date because he asked me and didn't ask where I wanted to go, etc. So he picks me up in his mother's minivan wearing an old t-shirt and cargo pants. And I was instantly turned off. I am one of those girls who likes to dress nice, and I'm way more attracted to men who dress well and at least shower.
Yeah.
So I get in the
Bare
car.
mins.
I get in the car and he asks me where I want to go. I had no idea. I assumed he had a plan. I suggest a walk around the park near my house. He wanted to stop and get food at McDonald's. And I was like, sure, okay, that's fine. We go to McDonald's and he realizes he can't afford the $10 meal. I didn't want anything, so I pay for his food. Who can't afford freaking meal at McDonald's?
Wow.
Like, bruh, plan your shit.
why did he
No.
go out on a date?
Yeah, why would you pick someone
can't pay
up?
for a $10 McDonald's meal?
What
but
if
you
she
wanna
was?
go on a date?
What if she was like, you know what? I really want some Red Lobster. If he's like, I don't know what to do. Like, what the
Well,
fuck
I
was
mean,
his plan?
clearly he didn't have any shame about saying he couldn't afford McDonald's, so I don't think he would have had a problem saying he couldn't afford Red Lobster.
and then she would have been out more money. yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Like-
true.
And we go for plan your shit. Okay. And we go for this walk. It's fine. But he continues to ask me anytime there is a lull in conversation, what are you thinking? I
Oh.
hate
Shut it down.
this.
Shut it all the way down.
Ugh.
If I wanted you to know what I was thinking, I would say it out loud through my mouth.
Obviously, the three of us are very fucking verbal.
Yes.
Like, we have no problem communicating.
Clearly.
So if I want to tell you anything, I will tell you.
Yeah.
Like,
And what are you thinking? Ugh.
ugh, the worst.
I never know how to answer that fucking question. I awkwardly
No one
say,
does.
I don't know. One other weird detail is that he had a CD of love songs or songs about love playing in his car. And it was so weird.
Oh God.
Okay, the weird date ends with an awkward hug, but the real cringe happens after the date. So the texting continues, but this time he starts asking me things like, what are you wearing? And I, being the sassy bitch I am, say shit like clothes or pajamas. And he keeps...
I'm so using that the next time because you
Clothes, period.
Clothes. And period.
Period.
That's a power
We're
move.
ending this right now.
Pajamas, period. And he keeps pressing, trying to get details. So I straight up tell him, I'm not into sexting. I don't do that stuff. And he replies with, oh, yeah, me either.
Okay.
What an idiot.
Then 2 days later, would try it again. At the time, I did belly dancing, like took classes and danced at local Ren Fest. And he asked me if I could dance for him sometime. Ugh.
As someone who took belly dancing, no.
No, thank you.
Is the answer.
Yeah.
I said,
I don't do private dances, you goddamn weirdo.
Yeah.
Fuck. I said, you can come see me dance at the Ren Fest. Like, boy, I'm not going to go do a damn striptease for you. We had one date. He also asked if I was into role play, like sexy role play. So one last bit to the story before I wrap it up. About a week or so after our first date, we were both going to a pool party at a mutual friend's house. Like the day before or the day of, I can't remember exactly. He asks me for a picture of my swimsuit. I say no, and that you will see me at the party. He agrees and then sends me a shirtless picture of himself and says, a little preview for you. Like, dude, take a fucking hit.
God, this guy is so awkward.
The pool party was delightfully awkward, and after my friend who introduced me to him said that I did not look like I was into him, she was 100% correct. The rejection. So he asked me out for a second date to the first Captain America movie, which I'm glad I didn't go see with him because I have the biggest crush on Chris Evans. And I basically told him that I just wasn't into him. Though how an inexperienced 19-year-old would say it. So I'm sure it was like, I'm not, no, thanks, dude.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. And he seemed to accept it. But then he does this guilt tripping thing by asking if he's ugly and saying that girls think he's ugly and on and on. I just try to tell him that I'm just not interested.
That guy's an incel now.
Oh,
No
totally.
shit. No shit.
He is.
Totally.
He takes it and we stop talking. A month later, my family and I take a trip to Europe and I got to make out with a decently attractive German man. Amazing.
This is a happy ending.
This is a happy ending. So it all worked out in the end. And I saw Captain America with my BFF and we fangirled over how hot Chris Evans was. Love the podcast. You ladies are so hilarious. And I'm listening, gearing up to get back into the dating scene once I move to LA in a few weeks.
Hey,
girl,
hey, come to our show.
I know. I actually responded to her and I was like, I said, you got to come see our show then.
Yeah,
when you're here."
absolutely. If you're here February 8th and 9th, come to our show.
Yeah.
We're going to hang out. There's going to be wine. We'll definitely go out afterwards.
I'm gonna
We'll
have
see
to
who you're
Uber.
meeting up with on Tinder and we'll do some cross matching to make sure it's nobody Christina's already.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
The wet guy or
Oh my god, that will be amazing. I'll be like, no, not him.
No.
He's garbage.
we'll help you.
No. Yes, no.
Elle, we got your back.
Bring your date to our show, please. That'll be the ultimate test.
Yes. Make your
love
date
it.
bring you. Yes. New dating scene.
Fantastic.
I love it.
Okay, so I have a story here that was submitted by a listener, but this story I have seen several people talking about. We got a private message about it on Instagram.
This is going everywhere.
And so I'm like, I don't know if this is an urban legend.
I don't either.
Or
wondered
what
that.
this is, but it is viral. And then we did get an email to our inbox about it. So I'm like, okay, we have to share it.
I have to share it, but I also am like curious whether it's like
A creepypasta. We're like
Yes.
moving forward with the understanding that it could be a fucking creepypasta. But
yeah, we're gonna deep dive into this.
yes,
for
we're going to
sure.
figure it out. But
Yeah.
we did get
the
this
fact that we
email.
got it twice in 1 week is very
Yes.
bizarre.
Yeah, and I've seen it around. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, this is a thing that's happening. I don't know if it really happened to somebody or what the deal is, but okay.
Yeah.
But I also have some comments for the end.
Yes.
because it's a fucking insane story.
It is an insane
If it's
story.
true. It's even if it's not true.
Even if it's not
a
true,
learning
someone
lesson.
made this up. And this is from someone that we got an email from them. And I've heard this now a couple of times, a couple different ways, but I'm going to read the way that she wrote it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this says, this is a first date story I heard from someone. This girl met this guy, we'll call him Lee, and he invited her round to his house for dinner, and she said yes. Once she arrived, he made her spaghetti bolognese, and something tasted weird, but she continued to eat it anyway. Everything was all right, but then suddenly her stomach began to feel strange, and she knew she needed to go to the bathroom. She asked him where the bathroom was, and he told her she would have to wait until he, quote unquote, cleaned up in there, which was a little weird for a start.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, she was waiting there for like 20 minutes and he still wasn't back. What the fuck was he doing? Is a parenthetical there. So she had an accident because he was taking so long to let her use the bathroom. However, it gets worse. She tells him she pooed herself and he seems nice about it. He tells her to jump in the shower
So fucked up.
and gives her some clean clothing to put on. So she goes to clean herself up and he gets a bag for her dirty clothes. Once she's finished cleaning, she walks into the living room and ... he's sitting there with her shit covered underwear ... smelling it ... in his boxers. It turns out he had laced her food with laxatives to make her shit herself so he could steal her soiled underwear.
Which, first of all, can we talk about the number one fact about this story, which is funny because it's scatological, but also is not funny because it's a fucking crime.
It's a crime. You poisoned
You
someone.
drugged somebody.
Yes, you poisoned them. Yes, you poisoned
somebody.
them. Yes, you're not allowed to do that. As we talked about.
No, you are not.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank
I'm
you.
so
Keegan.
glad you
clarified.
Well, I brought that up
true.
because we
It is
had this
true.
conversation
It's
about
gross.
CeeLo Green where they were
Right.
like, he roofied this girl. And then he was like, excuse me, I did not roofie her. I just gave her some ecstasy without her knowledge. You're not allowed to fucking
allowed
do
to
that.
drug people.
Don't
without
drug
them
people.
Knowing.
It's not okay.
Ugh.
I don't care what it is.
0% okay.
It's 0% okay. And yes, I'm not here again. We are very anti-kink shaming on this show.
Right.
If
Yeah.
that's what you're into, fine. But every party needs to be privy.
Consenting adults.
They need to consent
consenting adults.
to your kink.
Right.
You can't force someone to participate in your kink, you goddamn
P.S.
weirdo.
You live in the greatest time ever to have that fucking kink.
Right.
Because
You can
you
find
live
someone
in the
anywhere.
time of the internet.
You can
where
ask
you
somebody.
can find anyone that you want.
That's right.
Anyone.
For the
That's
right
right.
money,
People-
I would shit my pants for you.
Exactly. And here's the other thing. It's like people,
Lot of money.
People will wear diapers for you. People will dress up in furry costumes for you. People will do anything. You don't have to hide that in the basement. You can put it out on the lovely world of the internet and find
And
You will
again,
find it.
again,
you will
what-
find it.
What
Yeah.
we've talked about before on this show, which is basically like, what did you think your end goal,
Right.
like what was your end result going to be?
What was the end
because
game
as
here?
soon as she came out and saw you like that,
I know.
it's fucking over. Like
Right.
there's no
Which
recovering
makes
from
me
it.
wonder if this is true or
There's
not.
like a 1 in 227,939% chance
It's very, very
that
specific.
she would be interested in that and be like, oh.
I have this very specific kink as well.
Yes.
I'm glad I found somebody who shares this
Exactly.
with me. Like,
Yeah.
it's very unlikely.
It's
and
very
listen,
unlikely.
I lean on the side of, I'm a skeptic, and I
am
lean
too.
on the side of this being not true. However,
When I heard it the first time, when somebody shared it with us on the Facebook and I heard it the first time, I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. But then when I saw it like again a couple times, I was like, oh.
yeah, hearing
I
it from a
don't
different
know.
source is kind of
Yeah.
like, okay.
First off, are we all like more like accepting of it because someone in a British accent told
At
us the
100
first time?
and they called underwear knickers, and I
Yeah.
was like, yes, absolutely.
I was like, this
shitty
totally
knickers.
happens.
I was like, yes.
This is horrible, but shitty knickers sounds great.
is
It does.
hilarious.
It also sounds like something from the Great British Bake Off.
Right, whenever they can't, their buttercream keeps melting because it's
Shitty
85
knickers.
degrees in the tent, and they're just like, oh, shitty knickers. When they're trying to get it to stick, I
Yes.
see that happening.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
totally there for it.
However, Cassie, I do think
what Paul Hollywood would like you to make today was this
some
shitty knickers.
Shitty knickers.
So jealous of the fact you guys can do a British accent.
British
Oh, I would
people
brag
are
on that.
very
They're rolling.
angry at us right now.
No, don't. No,
Well,
that's
then
not brag.
They definitely don't want to hear mine.
They're furious. But also, Cassie. So I lean towards hesitancy with this story. However,
Okay.
we have gotten enough horrifying
true.
stories on this podcast that I'm like, this could have happened to someone.
Specifically about poop. Sometimes
true.
too.
This story could have happened. We know the 30 cat story, which we will eventually
Oh,
share.
God,
if
it's the best.
that can happen,
It's true.
this can happen.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
yeah. I guess the only reason I
30
find it,
cats, I think, is like our owl theory. By the
I
way.
know, like no one knows what we're talking
I
about.
dude, honestly, had I just heard it the one time, which when I did, like I said, I was like, yep, that's fucking bananas. But again, like I said, I think
But most urban legends
yeah,
do have a kernel of truth in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
there's some root of truth there.
yeah.
So maybe
what
it
is
was
the truth in this story?
You know what? I want to see because I
Here's
think we're
my
on
thing.
the
Whoever wrote this in, is this like an actual personal friend of yours, or is it just a story that you heard?
More details,
Yes, please write us back. We want to know more details.
Yes.
Because yeah.
So that's what I was talking about earlier about the Drinkerinos post where like face value, it's like a woman who had posted a fake Tinder profile of a guy and like had written all this stuff about him on there, like his personal information, and like wrote psychopath on his face and all this
right.
kind of shit.
Right.
And so at first everyone's like, ha ha ha, that's funny.
Oh, they're
he
like,
gets-
this asshole.
He gets what he deserves. He's a fucking narcissist and blah, blah, blah. And then they deep dive and they're like, oh,
Oh no,
plot
she's
twist.
bananas.
She's bananas.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, damn. Oh, I didn't hear about
Yes.
that.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
And then go on and see her videos and stuff, and you're like, oh,
Oh,
shit.
no.
Which-
See,
Yeah, you can't. I mean, that's the thing. It's the internet. Like, you don't know what's true and what's
Yeah.
not. So, writer of this story, please let us know if that's someone you know personally or not. Also, because we bring up Drinkerinos a lot on this podcast.
Yeah.
If you have joined Drinkerinos because you've heard it on this podcast, please shout us out. Like, please, like, tag us in a post. Because I want to know that we brought you
yeah.
to
'Cause
Drinkerinos.
Drinkerinos
'Cause
is
it's
the
a great place.
best fucking corner
Yeah.
of the internet.
It is.
Hands fucking down is
It
my
is.
favorite thing to
Yeah.
do in the
So
day.
I would like credit for that. If we've brought you, I want the credit for it. No, because we've given you the gift of Drinkerinos.
Yes.
So
The
if
gift.
you've
It
joined,
is a gift.
it is. It's the best. So if you've joined
Oh, no.
Drinkerinos because we've shouted it out on this show, I kind of want to know.
Right.
I kind of want to know.
And I kind of want to do.
You know what,
I
though?
really want
On
to
the other side of
Drinkerinos
that-
LA meetup.
Me too.
I totally do.
On the other side of that, though, I know that we've actually it's Drinkerinos has given us a lot. I mean,
Of course.
we actually got a lot of listeners because of Drinkerinos in the reverse. So I think it's
Oh no! Yes,
huge shout out.
Drinkerinos giveth and Drinkerinos taketh away. I'm sure.
We all
Yes.
just got kicked
They're
out.
amazing.
I know.
Take it away.
All right.
You've been dreaming about the dress. Come find the one at David's Bridal. The most glamorous designer wedding gowns are now 15% off. Bridesmaid dresses that fit beautifully start around $99. Whether you need a veil, jewelry, shoes, or even lingerie and shapewear, it's all at David's Bridal. Take 20% off outfit making accessories for a limited time. Stop by your local David's Bridal store or shop davidsbridal.com today. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you guys ready?
I've been waiting for this all day. I'm
Yeah.
very ready.
I even gave you a clue.
You did, and I didn't look it up
I didn't
because
either.
I didn't want to spoil the surprise.
Same.
Okay, so here's the deal. Like, I got so fucking paranoid about this story because it felt so familiar with me that I was convinced that we had talked about it on the podcast before. I went and searched every single episode to see if I'd done this
Double
story.
check.
We
Yeah.
need to create an index. If you're a listener and you're like, I just love making Google spreadsheets,
Right.
please make one of every Crazy in Love we've done so we
It's
don't
like-
overlap.
But I think it's honestly because I've seen so many like different
That's what it is.
investigates about this.
Yeah.
Investigate.
Because it's a fucking crazy story. So I'm just going to launch into this. Okay. Celeste Johnson was born on February 13th, 1963, and she was adopted by Edwin and Nancy Johnson. nobody really knows who her biological parents are.
'Kay.
So it was not a happy childhood. She tried to commit suicide in her teens, and later it would come out. She would allege there was a lot of abuse happening in the home, and it was not like a happy childhood. So at 17, she becomes pregnant with twins, Jennifer and Christina. She marries the guy and soon gets divorced and loses custody of the twins.
I know this story. It's on the tip of my brain.
Yeah.
I've seen a snapped about it, I think.
I know. There's like a snapped. There's like a trillion things about it.
I've definitely
you've
seen-
definitely
'cause it's-
seen
I-
So
it.
she lost custody of her children?
Correct. Yeah.
But why?
It doesn't really say. I tried to deep dive because I read like a shit ton of articles about it. As I said, I've seen like a bunch of documentaries about it, and they don't really get into it.
It's
but
strange for a mother to lose
Yeah.
custody. It's
yeah,
weird.
I think it's,
regardless
it's-
of being
it's-
younger.
it's a lot of her own, like the fact that she tried to commit suicide, and as
Got
you'll
it.
see later, she has some mental issues
Got
and
it.
stuff. So
Okay.
they were placed with a biological father.
Oh.
So fast forward, she marries 2 more guys and divorces 2 more guys. And
Oh my God.
I wrote next to it, how? Question mark. So maybe
Girl,
I need to.
I'm with you on that.
I'm
Like when
like-
I hear
I
like
am a normal, attractive, funny, awesome person. How does this person end up getting married what turns out to be 5 times?
well, they're not
in her
selective.
30
Well,
years.
clearly
They
not
can't be
selective.
selective.
Yeah.
Like there's that, which
Okay.
you have standards.
I do.
So there's that. But I mean, I do wonder. My grandpa, who I love to death, like is my step grandmother, who they're going to be married forever. They've been married for 20 years now, but 4th wife.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where do you find
My
the
grandmother.
where do you find the time?
I think my grandmother was married 5 times.
How do you have the time
know.
for this? I don't
That's
understand. When
insane.
people are like, I've gotten married 8 times. I'm like,
Nope.
how?
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. But okay, so she's doing her best. She is like 30 something years old. She is waiting tables at Austin Country Club, and she meets a guy, Stephen Beard. Stephen Beard is a 70-year-old man. He is a retired Fox broadcasting executive, and his wife of 45 years has recently succumbed to cancer.
Oh.
So he's lonely.
He's lonely and he rich AF.
Yeah.
Celeste at this time is 32, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Is she young?
So basically, she lays the charm on him, and he brings her in as his housekeeper.
Yeah, he
In
does.
quotes.
Yeah.
That's what he tells his family.
Does she wear a French maid outfit around the house with
they-
just a duster? That's the most cleaning she does. Just a duster.
feather duster.
Feather
that doesn't do
duster.
shit.
The story is they find out she's not the real housekeeper.
Oh, surprising.
When they walk in on them together at a Super Bowl party. Their 70-year-old father.
You are never recovering from that.
You can't unsee
You
it.
are not
Then
unseeing
she
it.
tried to run out the back door, but then the gate was locked.
Exactly. And she broke the house. And that's how she met the family. Okay, so they end up then getting married on February 18th, 1995. Now, here's the deal. She was given $35,000 a month allowance.
Wait,
did you
if
say
he wants to-
35,000?
If he wants to just give money away, we have a Patreon account.
I'm here. Yes,
Put
I'm
my
here
Venmo
for you.
up on the show notes again.
Listen, guys. Hold on.
$35,000 a month.
Listen, I will wear a French maid outfit and dust your house
Same.
for you.
Same. We'll take pictures. French maid.
Totally. 100%. I don't want to do anything with you physically, but if you allow me to do that and
Dude,
pay me money,
For $35,000 a month, they can have all 3 of us. Honestly.
package deal.
True.
3 for 1.
deal.
Dude,
3 for 1.
Let's put that on the Patreon. $35,000 a month. We will dress in French maid costumes.
Come to your house
Done.
every day. I'll quit
Done.
my job. We're doing this every day.
Done. Sold.
So Celeste had a problem with this. I mean,
Excuse me?
Oh,
she ended up
is it not
spending
enough?
$50,000 in one day on purses. She had a purse to match every pair of shoes she owned. So
Oh.
they would kind of fight about money.
Okay.
So after one
Honey, dump her. Some other woman will be very appreciative of that.
Yeah.
35 grand a month. I live off 35 grand, like 3,500 a month. So
Right.
yeah, 10 times I can make it work.
Yeah.
You know what?
You
I can make
know
it work.
what?
We could make it work. We
Yeah.
could even split it
Yeah,
three
yeah.
ways and we could make it work.
Exactly.
If we had to.
So basically, like, they had a particularly bad, like, fight about money where, like, he changed it. He changed her $35,000 a month to a 500 grand trust. That's what she had. So it was like, once you spend that, like,
Sorry about
sorry. And this chick had fucking furs, shoes, purses. I mean, like, the fucking
Damn.
most ridiculous shit, right?
That's
She's-
an entitled woman right there. Because,
Yeah.
like, anyone else, listen, if you can handle being in a loveless relationship, you, like, if you can handle it, that's a good fucking deal.
It
Dude,
is a good deal.
35.
That's a good
1,000.
fucking job. That job pays really
That
well.
is a good
Yeah.
job.
It's
It's a job.
great job.
He could have found somebody
Yeah.
else who would have been like, fine.
Be like, I will
Fantastic.
take that job
Yep.
and I will excel at it.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Yes, I will do my fucking best.
Exactly. So, but she says, and a lot of people back up that claim, that they had fights about money, but they weren't really serious, that Steven had tons of money. He had tons of it and didn't really mind that she spent all that money.
Her kids. His kids did.
His
Oh,
kids
I
did.
bet they
Shit.
fucking
His kids
did.
are like, that
And
bitch is
his-
using all our
his-
money.
His fucking accountants did,
Yeah, of
but
course they
he
did.
really didn't.
Can you imagine being his like son or daughter and you're just like, this bitch,
Yeah.
Yep.
this bitch.
This fucking bitch is spending my inheritance. This bitch I'm older than.
Ooh, I'd
is
be
spending
pissed.
my
I
inheritance.
really would be pissed.
I would too.
So after a particularly bad like fight, she ends up, and she has like issues with depression. She checks into St. David's Pavilion in early 1999. She had threatened suicide after being confronted about spending, and so she got checked into a mental hospital for like a break.
A break from spending.
Yes. So that's where she meets Tracy Tarleton. Tracy Tarleton is bipolar with psychotic tendencies.
Is this a female or a male Tracy?
She is a woman.
Okay.
She hears voices and she's very suicidal. And she's also a lesbian.
Okay.
Here's where it becomes a who do you believe story from here on out. Because there are two trees
Probably
that
not
you
Celeste.
can follow. Celeste says they were friends and they trauma bonded. Tracy says lovers.
Mm-hmm.
The facts of the case are thus. On October 2nd, 1999, Tracy broke in to their house and shot Stephen Beard in the stomach with a shotgun.
Oh God.
The 911 call Stephen made says, quote unquote, my guts flew out of my stomach.
Oh my God. I definitely
The
heard this.
911 operator says, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
That's me as a 911 operator.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
And he says, my guts are outside my stomach.
I know
I
this.
don't
Oh,
know.
I know this.
This has never happened to me before.
Oh.
It hurts awful.
Oh,
And I read that today and I just like teared up, and thank God I didn't hear it. Thank God I didn't listen to it.
Oh.
He sounds like that's the way my grandpa talks.
It hurts awful.
It hurts awful.
And
Oh,
so, yeah, I'm
this
just
poor
like,
old
this
man.
poor old man.
He was lonely. He just wanted companionship.
You just want a maid.
So the police come and they were immediately suspicious since they found a shotgun shell beside the bed. Because the first thing they thought was, had this guy had surgery or something and blew like his stitches,
Like an incision.
because it was so fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would have said, I've been shot if he'd been shot, but then they find the shotgun shell beside their bed, and then all of a sudden, Celeste and one of her twin daughters, Christina, come into the room and they're like hysterical. They're like, what's happened? What's happened? But the police are like, okay.
A shotgun's not exactly a quiet weapon.
Right, exactly. So they're
Where
like,
were
why
you?"
didn't you wake up when the shotgun went off?
Right.
Or when we were pounding on the door? Like, why are you just now coming in?
Yeah,
like, they had to fucking break in.
Fucking sus, man. Like,
Yeah.
why are people like this?
Were
Like,
they like supposedly not home? Or
No, they were in another wing of the house.
and I mean, I'm
Oh.
sure it was a large house, but still, a shotgun.
Shotgun is loud as
someone who has
fuck.
shot a shotgun,
Oh,
a
shit.
shotgun is fucking loud. And especially in an enclosed space, there is zero chance that
Nobody
you
heard
are
that.
not hearing that.
Exactly. So he's rushed to the hospital. He actually survives.
No.
He does. And they end up like within like a week, they get an anonymous tip about Tracy Tarleton.
Wait, but doesn't he know? He knows somebody who
He doesn't know. I don't know if she was disguised or what.
Oh.
Well, did he, even if she wasn't, like, would he know
He was
who
asleep.
that was?
And he
Yeah.
was asleep.
He was asleep, and he
Oh.
may have never met her because
Right.
if
Sure,
they were
sure.
carrying on
Yeah.
outside, they may have never been introduced to each other.
True.
Right. So they get an anonymous tip. They knock on Tracy's door. They're like, they have the shotgun shell. They're like, do you own a
This
shotgun?
belong to you?
And she's like, yeah, I own a shotgun.
Tracy.
And they're like,
Life or longer?
Can we see it? And of course it like matches. And she like goes to jail, but she clams up. They're like, why do you like,
Yeah.
why'd you break in? Why'd you shoot this guy? She clams up, silent. About a year goes by. She's completely silent. And then she reads in the paper that fucking Celeste got married to Cole Johnson.
All right, hold on. Sorry.
Wait.
Stop. Put a pin in that. I want to know how the police didn't make that connection themselves. Like, you're
Yeah.
telling me you didn't look into the past of Tracy and figure
And
out that
know
she
that
was
they
at
went
the
the
same
same-
place that
Yeah.
Celeste went? You didn't make that fucking
Well,
connection?
I mean, it takes time to like dig up that stuff or
But a
whatever.
year?
But yeah, it takes
I think you'd figure it out in a year.
takes a
Yeah.
while. But and especially if she's not talking, she's clamped up. So,
Anyway, who's Cole Johnson?
But
Sorry.
wait a second, and they got divorced?
well, no. In the meantime, he's died. He died of like
Oh.
basically like complications due to the shooting. He died like 5 months after
too
being
old.
shot.
You can't
He's
handle
like
that kind of trauma at that
75 by
age.
that
Yeah,
point.
like-
It's like shot. His guts were outside of his stomach. It's like
Yeah, you're not as resilient at 75.
Exactly. You're done. So
You're done.
so you're done. So she reads in a newspaper about Celeste getting married to Cole Johnson, and she turns to her cell roommate and she's like, I'm not about to rot in jail for the rest of my life and have this bitch like get to have her happy ending.
Also, Celeste, maybe keep that shit out of the newspaper.
Yeah.
Like,
Be
maybe
cool,
be
man.
like, I'm good without an engagement
Yeah.
announcement.
I've been married a
Thanks.
couple times. This is fine.
So I'm going to lay out the facts.
All right.
This is what Tracy says. This is what Celeste says.
I know
This
whose
is a
side
choose
I'm
your
on,
own
but go
adventure.
ahead.
I know which side we're all on. But
I'm on neither
There's
of their
some-
sides.
there's some interesting tidbits that we'll get into. Tracy says she was my girlfriend. Celeste says she's crazy and obsessed. Like she wanted to be with me and I didn't want to be with her and I was just trying to be nice.
She took the route that Michael Douglas should have
Should have
taken in
taken.
Fatal Attraction.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
She did that. She did my Fatal Attraction.
She did. Which you'll get that joke if you guys sign up for Patreon
Oh,
because
exactly.
we did a Patreon episode on a Crazy in Love movie, Fatal Attraction, where we talk about that. But yeah, that's what she did. She's just
She
like,
did it.
look, she's nuts. She's obsessed with me.
They were able to actually back that up because they had Tracy's diary in which she detailed everything about her life, including her friendship with Celeste, and mentioned her longing for Celeste, but never mentioned any kind of sexual relationship, even though she detailed other people. So they were like, why didn't she mention the first time that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So interesting.
Fair. Point one,
Point.
Celeste.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
you know what? That's
Could be
actually
true.
kind of interesting.
It was probably the owl that did it then.
It was definitely the owl.
Yeah. Okay. So Tracy said that Celeste said that she was emotionally abused. Celeste and multiple witnesses that were in Celeste and Stephen Beard's life say they had a happy marriage, that they actually traveled a lot, that they went to tons of places, that they were really, really happy, and that they legitimately loved each other.
Wow.
And a lot of people were character witnesses for Celeste.
And that the fights that they had weren't real.
They weren't
fights.
real. Exactly. That they were just like, you know
Normal
what? He
marital
would like
fights.
chastise her and be like, you shouldn't spend so much. Like, I'm mad at you, but not really.
But
in the
but I'm
end.
still going to give you your
Finger wag.
allowance.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, okay. And then the other one was Tracy said the motive was money. Celeste said, I actually got a lot less if he was dead or divorced, which is actually true.
I believe that. Yeah.
In the fact that Steven kind of let her spend whatever she wanted.
Yeah.
She wasn't really on an allowance when Steven was allowed or was alive, because he was like, you have a $35,000 a month allowance, but you overspent. I'm mad at you.
Right.
Whereas like trustees or the fucking family would be like,
Yeah, you don't get another penny.
you are on
Cut
a
off.
fucking allowance. And if they got divorced or if she died, it was only like $500,000. It would be a lot less if he was, you know, divorced or dead. So she was like,
She doesn't really gain anything by his death.
she was like, it was actually better he was alive and we were together. She was like, so here's what becomes even more weird, is that her children, her daughters, Jennifer and Christina. I know, sips tea. Her daughters, Jennifer and Christina, would only get a small amount if her mother was not convicted. But they stood to actually inherit after, because Stephen actually adopted Celeste's daughters.
Oh.
So
And they
they stood
ended up
to inherit everything if she was arrested.
Correct.
Oh, Twister-Rooney.
Twister-Rooney. So her daughters
Oh, no.
actually took the stand against her
You're kidding.
and said that, oh, yeah, she used to say all the time he was disgusting and why won't he die already?
Oh,
She used to put sleeping pills in his food and sneak out to be with her lover, Tracy.
No, they
And
didn't. They did it. They did it.
they fucking annihilated her.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
So, yeah.
This is like a made-for-TV movie.
I know.
know.
It's scandalous.
I know.
I am
And
feeling
here's
very
the thing,
scandalized.
Is that depending on which view you take of it, which side you read, there's compelling evidence for either
There's compelling
side.
evidence on every side. Yeah. You know, I did go into it being like, this bitch.
I know.
Because
And-
anytime it's like an older man and a younger woman, I've seen a million snaps. They all pan out the same way. So you assume that that's how it's going to go. And I've seen a number of these cases where there is like a, you know, lesbian lover, you know.
Yeah,
so I'm
right.
like, okay, that's definitely how this is going to go.
Sure.
But I mean,
Yeah.
the evidence is kind of.
It's enough to give you a little bit of a smidgen
pause.
of doubt where you're
Yeah.
like, wait, I mean,
It
you
could be
very
either way.
unreliable witnesses. And Tracy's cellmate testified to the fact that her and Celeste were not together.
Right.
That Tracy was hell-bent on basically being upset that she married Cole Johnson and was just obsessed with her.
Oh,
And then there
shit.
are other sides. Jennifer, Christina, and Tracy all allege that she basically manipulated them into or helping them kill or having Tracy kill Stephen Beard because she wanted out of it. So it's a really weird story. Now here's the nail in the coffin and why I lean Celeste, but it's out of the
Okay.
mouth, or why I lean Tracy. I'm sorry,
Oh,
why I lean
okay. I
towards
was like,
Celeste being guilty
interesting. Okay.
is
You
because
lean towards Celeste being guilty.
correct.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
And it's because Jennifer and Christina allege, and there's a third party who doesn't stand to financially benefit in any way, that Celeste was trying to hire that third party to kill Tracy. right when
Okay.
she started talking and everything.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, even if she was not guilty, I can see why she would want to do that anyways, because it's like there's so much 50-50 and nothing is concrete. It's all circumstantial, but it's still enough where I'm like, it gave
I
me
feel like
enough of
it's-
her manipulative
It's a very
side.
drastic route to take if you aren't guilty. I can see
Correct.
being like, I want her to stop talking, even if you're not guilty, because
Right.
you're like, she's going to make it seem like I am. And like, that's enough for me to be like concerned about that. But I also feel like you're not going to hire somebody to kill someone
Right.
unless you have
Right.
something more to hide than just that fear.
And deep dive, her daughter Christina used to audio tape like phone conversations with her mother, and some of the manipulative,
wrong with it? Why?
crazy
Yeah,
stuff. And
they're
I'm like,
weird. They're
it tells a lot to me, like a relationship between a mother and daughter, which at the time of being a teenager is typically fraught, but is kind of crazy, but it's
conversation.
exactly
Never
weird.
would've.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Never
I'm
would've.
just like, you know what? Like I lean towards Celeste being guilty.
Well,
I don't actually. I actually am still in the camp of Tracy's obviously like completely obsessed and did this maybe not of her own accord, but I think the girls might have coaxed her into it. And who knows, if she was that unstable, the girls could have gone to her, found her and been like, oh, my mom is totally,
Because they
into
knew
you.
they
And
were
if you just got rid
friends.
of
They knew that they were friends. Like Celeste and Tracy were like friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so they were around. They hung around each other a lot. Tracy told all of her coworkers, like, Celeste is my girlfriend. That sort of thing. And like, here's the other thing. I'm like, when someone likes you.
yes,
You know how to take
and you know how to
advantage.
manipulate that. That's true. But I mean, okay, so we have one team, Celeste did it. One team, Tracy did it. Maybe with the help
well, we
of
know
the
that
daughters.
Tracy did it.
Oh well, yes, but
I mean,
like
that
Tracy
yeah.
did it on her
I mean,
own,
yeah.
or
But
with the help of the daughters.
That's the thing. The thing that really nailed it to me is like she would have known that she wouldn't financially benefit
Yeah.
from
that's
him
the
being
thing.
murdered. And I'm like,
That's the thing that's most difficult.
so-
But also, I've definitely seen episodes of like Snapped and things like that where the women have not financially benefited, but maybe it was like an emotional response where they're like, I'm just fucking sick of this person. And they like didn't think it through.
right.
Like all the
Right.
way. So that could have been something. She seems like somebody who's a little bit impulsive. So that could be possible.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't think
At
I
the
have
same
a.
time, though. Like they clearly weren't having a relationship. So for what reason would Celeste have to want him gone? I mean,
don't
was she already
know.
starting this new relationship with this other guy?
I wonder
Well,
that a
no,
lot
here's
though.
the other thing. She was hooking up with her ex-husband, her last ex-husband at the time. So
I don't think I can
know if
make
that's
an.
still enough
I
either
don't think
for
I
me.
can make an informed decision on like who I think is really behind it, because to me there are so many things on both sides where it's like on the Tracy side of things, I'm like, yeah, like why would she have gone and done this thing? I mean, obsession is like one thing,
Yeah.
and that's very
do
powerful.
crazy shit
People
for
do like
obsessed.
crazy shit because they're obsessed. But also, if you really believe that like you're with this person, like maybe, or if Tracy's making, or if Celeste is making you believe that you're with this person, like maybe you might like wait it out if you
Right.
still have like a relationship with them. Like I don't know. And then I've also seen a lot of episodes where like it doesn't make sense for the woman to kill her husband, but she's just like she does it anyway, or the man to kill his wife.
right.
Where you're like, maybe there isn't like a logical reason.
But here's the thing. I
But-
wanted to present that to you guys because so much of all the documentaries that I've seen about this are super slanted towards Celeste being just like guilty.
Guilty.
As in. So I just
Wow.
wanted to present to you guys
Huh.
the fucking
I think it could go either
facts.
way. I think it could go either
like
way.
if you were a jury and you heard the defense argue such and the
Yeah.
Okay,
freaking-
what
I
did
will
happen
say-
to
Prosecutor
Celeste? Did she
offer-
get in trouble?
well funny thing is they knew that Tracy committed the murder. They offered her a plea deal to testify against Celeste, which
I
is
fucking
another
hate
thing.
that shit. I hate that shit.
that.
So Celeste took 20 years with the possibility for parole in 10 to
Oh my
testify
God.
against Celeste, who was convicted in 2003. and sentenced to life in prison.
Are you
without
kidding me?
without possibility of parole for
Wait,
40 years.
So the person who
actually did it got off with like
oh no, she's out. She's out now.
Oh,
Tracy Tarleton is
you.
out. And Celeste is still in prison, still maintaining her innocence.
Because
I'm
I was
shook.
about to say to you, listen, I was about to say to you, even if Celeste had done it, if what had been presented to me as a jury member was exactly what you presented, and I understand that that's not the case, there's a bunch of other evidence.
she
and all
had
that
money. She had a good fucking lawyer
But
too.
if that's what you had if what you had just presented to me
Right.
is what I heard as a jury member, I would not have convicted
Yeah.
Celeste, even if I had thought she was guilty.
There's enough
because I just
doubt.
don't think that there's enough doubt
Yeah.
that you cannot put someone in prison forever for that. You don't have hard evidence.
You have the person that actually fucking
You
did
know
it.
what I think did her in was her fucking daughters.
Yep.
His daughters.
Because when you put
because people
family,
are like, can you believe her
they'd
fucking
be like,
daughters?
her daughters wouldn't turn on her unless she did something.
Exactly. But they had a
Bullshit.
fucked up relationship, obviously, from doing like, because they didn't come back to her until they were teens. You know what I mean?
and then were adopted for why? Why were they adopted by him, considering that they had a dad clearly?
This story has been fucked up. Seriously.
their natural father did die.
Oh, got it.
And so, like, Steven
So that's why
adopted
they
them
got them.
into their family. Like, they got along with Steven or whatever because, I mean, he's rich or whatever. They had a weird relationship, but
Sure.
they won the fucking jackpot. They had basically Daddy Warbucks
Wow.
fucking adopt them. And they stood to gain $2 million bucks for their
Well-
mom being in jail for the rest of their
Well,
lives. And
Christina-
they're set. So, how about that for a crazy in love?
was a very good, a very upsetting, crazy in love story.
No
Thank you
shit.
very much. Nothing's real and everything sucks. Thank
know.
you.
Yeah,
I
know.
know. 2019.
I
Here we
feel
go.
terrible.
Yeah, and it's
Yikes.
like, you outside looking in, it's like, who's telling you the story? Who, did Celeste and Steven actually love each other? Or did Tracy and Celeste actually love each other? Like,
I was just talking about how
is love
I'm
even
like
real?
because real time, guys, because we know this episode's not going to come out for like 2 weeks. Real time, it's not yet the new year, and all of the podcasts we listen to are putting out like holiday episodes that are not
Recaps.
like real episodes.
Right.
But I was listening to one, it was the Daily Zeitgeist, and they were talking about like true crime podcasts and that sort of thing. And
Were they saying they were overrated?
they were saying that they were, overrated.
I
Which, I mean, I love true crime podcasts.
do too.
But
Some are better than others.
yeah, some are better than others. But it got me thinking about how it is true about how like I love true crime podcasts. I don't think they're overrated. I enjoy them a lot. I enjoy all of these shows, Snapped, Dateline, etc.
Right.
But there is something to be said about the way in which these things are presented to you.
Sure.
Correct.
And you have to understand that everything that's being presented to you is slanted.
That's not just true crime podcasts.
It's everything.
All
It's everything.
media, all the fucking time. I don't mean to fucking conspiracy theory you.
No, you're right.
But that is the way that it is.
Yeah, listen, and I'm not, I mean, maybe kind of, but like, if anyone comes out and says that they are fair and balanced, they're not fair and balanced. And I'm not saying that just about that news source that says that they're fair and balanced. I'm saying that about every news source. Every source is slanted because it's all coming from, and some are worse than others. Some try to be more centrist than others. Some try to hire more diverse, crew to manage that shit.
Right.
But it's all coming from someone's worldview.
Right.
Sure.
And no one is going to spout shit that is against their own worldview. So, you have to kind of take everything with a grain of salt and understand that there's a perspective. Even people who are trying to be balanced and fair, it's like there's a perspective that's coming out of that.
That's why I'm so glad that it actually kind of worked out that I didn't have time to rewatch the documentaries that I had watched, that I had to just like read articles and stuff today, because it literally just forced me to boil down what the facts of the story were.
Yeah, it allows you to
I
make
think
your own
that's
decision.
why even too, and the one I did from the last episode,
Right.
I'm like, I read not just one article, watched one documentary. I watched multiple of multiple articles, multiple documentaries, multiple things, because I think that that's so important, because you're right. Consider the source.
I mean, think of that year. Was it last year that all those John Benet Ramsey documentaries came out? And it was like each one was slanted,
of course,
to make you think a different person did it.
And we all know Burke did it.
I mean,
come
obviously,
Burke.
It's Team Burke
We're
all
ready.
the way over here.
Yes,
He's
Team Burke.
a total creeper.
Guilty AF.
Exactly. But that's the thing, is that everything can be slanted or portrayed nowadays to fit a certain angle, and it's like, take a look at the facts, see what you yourself would
make
think.
up your own mind about these things.
Why I'd be terrible on a jury, because I'd be like, not guilty, not like, you would never prove anything to me without like beyond a reasonable doubt, like ever, because I'd be like,
but we have the blood evidence right here.
And I'd be like, blood spatter
you're
evidence
that
is
person.
I'm like, it's unreliable,
inadmissible. They're like, I'm sorry, ma'am, that's my job. The judge is like, hey, no. You stand up, you're like, objection. They're like, no.
You're in the jury. You can't do that.
Not your job, madam.
Oh my God. All right. Well, yeah, that was that. I guess.
Well, the great thing is that we don't have a bunch of stuff to say here at the end, except for just go to myworstdatepodcast.com.
That's it.
It's all there.
You got everything there. It's a one-stop shop.
It is. And listen, so go to the homepage, scroll to the bottom. There is a button for our Patreon, a button for our Twitter, a button for our Instagram. It's all there.
It's everything
you can listen on there. There are links to Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, Spotify. You can listen on various platforms straight from our website. So that is myworstdatepodcast.com.
And links to our shows.
Yes, please,
live show.
Please. If you're in LA,
we'd love to see you. It'd be so fun.
Please.
If you're not in LA, you know when's a good time to come visit? When everywhere else is super cold. February.
Yes, right the fuck now.
It's
or in a month.
probably cold here too.
Not as cold as where you're from,
but not as cold as where you're from.
Snow.
Yep.
No snow.
No snow.
Exactly.
We guarantee no snow.
Well, thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.
This is a Glassbox Media Podcast.